Hello, this is Dr. Ron Modern of Modern Institute for Mind Body Wellness, and these are your weekly words of wellness. Now, this time is going to be a little bit longer than 5 minutes. I guess I'm going to have to change the title of our time together from their 5-minute words of wellness to just the weekly words of wellness, because what I'd like to focus on today is some of the self-hypnosis that we do. Now, in my new book, Living Well, A Guide to Cognitive Behavioral Skills Exercises, we have in there how to do self-hypnosis, some of the steps in there. We also have several scripts in there that you can use. So what I would like to do today is I'd like to go through one of those scripts. This is fairly common. This is the Heartland script, often called the ego strengthening script, and it's received sort of legendary status in the field of hypnosis for its beneficial aspects. So I'd like to go over that today and just go through that Heartland script for you. Once again, this is also included in the book, along with several other scripts we have. We have some scripts for pain management and scripts for various other things in there that you may find useful. Once again, this is for self-hypnosis. Hypnosis is often very misunderstood. One of the first questions I ask people when they come to see me is, what do you know about hypnosis? And it's usually, well, whatever I saw in the movies or television. And that is invariably wrong. I don't think I've ever seen any movie or television program that accurately portrayed hypnosis for what it actually is. Now, hypnosis is a focused state of concentration, and that's what it is. We have different states that we're in. So the normal waking state, this is a beta state. We hooked our brain up to an EEG. We could see that that particular state that was there. The focused state of concentration that we're looking for, this is the alpha state. Okay. Below that, if you get deeper than that, you get into what's called a theta state. That is also called a hypnagogic state. That is used for severe cases of pain management. If you're having childbirth without anesthesia, you're doing surgery without anesthesia, like Isdale used to do in India, things of that sort, then you would want that hypnagogic state, that theta state. But 90% of the things we do only requires the alpha state. Delta state is the state of sleep. That's the one below the theta state. So we can hook the brain up, like we said. We can look at that, and we can know that hypnosis is different. Hypnosis being the alpha or theta state is different from the delta state of sleep. So we know it's a different state in and of itself. We also have what's called a gamma state, which is hyper awareness. So that's even above the beta state of our normal waking time. So when we're going into hypnosis, hypnosis is not something that somebody can do to you. Okay, it's something that I have to choose to go into myself. And this is often said that, well, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Okay, well, that's sort of true and it's sort of not true. It's true in the sense that, once again, I can't make you do anything you don't choose to do, whether you're awake or whether you're in a hypnotic state. So you have to choose to allow yourself to go along with the suggestions that I make to achieve that hypnotic state. Now, the hypnotic state is as old as mankind, right? So previously, when we were in the prehistoric era, perhaps we beat on drums and danced around and worked ourselves into a hypnotic state. Chanting can often be used to create that hypnotic state. There are other ways to do that. There are many ways to do that. And we've used it throughout our history as human beings, because this is something natural. This is another thing that often comes up with hypnosis. Many people would like to use pills instead of something natural like hypnosis, and they seem to think that there's something sinister about hypnosis, but there's not about medications. And from my time working with medications and what have you, let me assure you that it's exactly the opposite. That the side effects of hypnosis are relaxation. If you don't get anything else out of it, you're still going to come away from it relaxed. The side effects of medications, however, can be very serious and even deadly. Long term, especially psychiatric medications and things like that, we end up with tardive dyskinesia. Tardive dyskinesia has now become so prevalent in our society through the prevalent use of medications that you're going to see advertisements on the television now on how to control the tardive dyskinesia. You can't get rid of it. You don't know how to get rid of it once you have it, but it does help alleviate some of the symptoms of that. And that's unfortunate that people make that choice, that they choose to use something brain damaging like psychiatric medications, as opposed to something natural and sort of God-given that we have, like hypnosis, which to put ourselves into a hypnotic state, to utilize our own brain, our own body, our own physical functions to achieve health and wellness. So there's a lot of different ideas out there on hypnosis, people who are uninformed or misinformed or what have you. Once again, if you go to a hypnosis show and you end up on stage clucking like a chicken, that's because you choose to go along with that. It's not because anybody makes you do anything that you don't choose to do. If I could make you choose to do things that you didn't really choose to do, then I would have every high school boy in the country coming to me to learn how to do that. Can't do it. Okay, CIA tried it for many years. You may be familiar with the conspiracy theories and what have you around MK Ultra and things like that. MK Ultra was a program. The research is out there if you want to look it up. Used a lot of cognitive restructuring, hypnosis, medications, different things to try to make people do things against their will. And what you ended up with was a lot of psychotic people. So we have a whole lot of control over what we do. We are always in direct control of what we choose to think and what we choose to do with our behavior, unless we're otherwise incapacitated in some way, intoxicated in some manner. And that's one of the problems with the medications. Intoxication, agnosia is one of the things that we have to worry about. That's medication intoxication, where we use so much of the medication that our brain becomes intoxicated and we don't know what we're doing. So that's a very risky situation as well. We see it a lot with the military and a lot with people who are on psychiatric meds for other reasons as well. So this is an alternative to that. The hypnosis is something that we can use. Like I said, the self-hypnosis steps are in the book there. Of course, you can always give me a call. Come and see me at the Modern Institute. We'll be happy to do some hypnosis with you here. But what I'd like to do today, once again, is just go over this Heartland script to just give you a sort of an idea of what that would be like. And we're getting close to the holidays. It's almost Christmas. So you might need some relaxation, need some calmness, and you can certainly use this for that as well. Just turn up the music and sit back and relax. So that's what I'd like to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and start some music so that we have that there. We don't want it too loud so you can't hear me. So maybe you can just hear it in the background. If you want to play your own, you can do that. But what I'd like you to do now is just sit back and relax. And you may choose to go ahead and close your eyes and start some of that diaphragmatic breathing that we also describe in the book. Breathing in through the nose for a count of 4, holding it for a count of 4, and exhaling through the mouth for a count of 8. Remember, you're in control of that counting, so you can count as fast or as slow as you choose. Breathing in through the nose for a count of 4, holding for a count of 4, exhaling through the mouth for a count of 8, using that diaphragmatic breathing, using that diaphragm to stimulate the vagus nerve, causing the release of those serotonins, melatonins, and endorphins in the brain. Those neurotransmitters and hormones causing us to relax even deeper with every breath that we take. So now as you're beginning to relax, allowing yourself to go deeper and deeper and deeper to a wonderful state of relaxation and calmness. In fact, you've now become so very deeply relaxed that your mind has become so sensitive, so receptive to what I say, that everything that I put into your mind will sink so deeply into the subconscious part of your mind, make so deep and lasting an impression there that nothing will erase it. In this condition, your subconscious mind is now at the forefront. It's now readily accessible to the suggestions that I make to you. Consequently, these things that I put into your unconscious mind will begin to exercise a greater and greater influence over the way you think, over the way you feel, both emotionally and physically, and over the way you behave. And because these things will remain firmly embedded in the unconscious part of your mind, after you've left here, when you're no longer with me, they'll continue to exercise that same great influence over your thoughts, over your feelings, both emotional and physical, and over your actions, just as strongly, just as surely, just as powerfully, you're back home or at work, as you are with me now. You're now so very deeply relaxed that everything that I tell you that is going to happen to you for your own good will happen exactly as I tell you. Every feeling that I tell you you will experience exactly as I tell you. And these same things will continue to happen to you every day. You'll continue to experience these same feelings every day, just as strongly, just as surely, just as powerfully, when you're back home, at work, as you are with me now. As a result of this deep hypnotic rest, you're going to feel physically stronger and fitter in every way. You're going to feel more alert, more wide awake, more energetic. You'll become much less easily tired, much less easily fatigued, much less easily discouraged, much less easily depressed. Every day you'll become so deeply interested in whatever it is you're doing that your mind will become completely distracted away from yourself and away from your problems. You no longer think nearly as much about yourself and your problems. You will no longer dwell nearly as much upon yourself and your difficulties, and you'll become much less conscious of yourself, much less preoccupied with yourself and with your own feelings. Every day your nerves will become stronger and steadier. Your mind will become calmer and clearer, more composed, more placid, more tranquil. You'll become much less easily worried, much less easily agitated, much less fearful and apprehensive, much less easily upset. You'll find yourself able to think more clearly. You'll be able to concentrate more easily. Give your whole undivided attention to whatever it is you're doing, to the complete exclusion of everything else. Consequently, your memory will rapidly improve, and you'll be able to see things in their true perspective without magnifying them, without ever allowing them to get out of proportion. Every day, you will become much more emotionally calm, much more settled, much less easily disturbed. Every day, you will become and you will remain more and more completely relaxed and less tense each day, both mentally and physically, even when you're no longer with me. And as you become and as you remain more relaxed and less tense each day, So you'll develop much more confidence in yourself, more confidence in your ability to do not only what you have to do each day, but more confidence in your ability to do whatever you ought to be able to do without fear of failure, without fear of consequences, without unnecessary anxiety, without uneasiness. Because of this, every day you'll feel more and more independent, more able to stick up for yourself, stand on your own 2 feet, to hold your own no matter how difficult, trying things may be. Every day you'll feel a greater feeling of personal well-being, a greater feeling of personal safety and security than you've felt for a long, long time. And because these things will begin to happen exactly as I tell you they'll happen, more and more rapidly, more and more powerfully, more and more completely with every treatment that I give you, you're going to feel much happier, much more contented, much more optimistic in every way. You'll consequently become much more able to rely on, to depend on yourself, your own efforts, your own judgment, your own opinions. You'll feel much less need to have to rely on and to depend on other people. And now in just a moment I'll count to 3. When we reach 3, you'll open your eyes feeling relaxed and refreshed, feeling absolutely wonderful. We're at 1 now, feeling relaxed. We're at 2, feeling relaxed and refreshed. Coming back to the present moment, back to the present place. And now we're at 3, and whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes feeling relaxed and refreshed, feeling absolutely wonderful. Very good. So that's one of the scripts, once again, that's included in our book there. It's one of the scripts that you can use for the self-hypnosis. We have the steps that go through that. Those include progressive muscle relaxation. Those include an induction. We have several direct suggestion scripts with post-hypnotic suggestions in there. And then we have the emergent script that's in there as well. So you can use your recording device, whether it's a digital voice recorder or whether it's your computer, whatever it happens to be, and put those all together and create your own self-hypnosis tapes. You may even at some point start writing your own self-hypnosis scripts to deal with whatever issue it is. However it is, it's always easier to ride than it is to drive. So even hypnotists will go to other hypnotists to be hypnotized. Just as a matter of curiosity, the best hypnotic subjects are other hypnotists. That's because we know what the process is about. We know what's going on. We know that we're not going to do anything we don't choose to do. And that if we just lay back and relax and follow the suggestions, we're going to have a wonderful experience. This is often the reason that it takes more than one time to do a hypnosis session. If you want to be hypnotized, I can hypnotize you. If you don't want to be hypnotized, nobody can hypnotize you. Once again, this is something that we have to work on together. It's a collaboration between you and the hypnotist to reach that hypnotic state. But sometimes people come in, most of the time people come in and don't know anything about hypnosis like we've talked about. And so it takes a little bit of time to get that trust developed that's down there. During the first session, usually what happens is people learn how to relax, and I get information about them. And then they see what the process is like. They understand this is nothing. They're not going to wake up at midnight and start howling at the moon, do anything like that. So the trust begins to develop. You can develop that therapeutic alliance between the hypnotist and the client. And as we do that, then the client is finds themselves able to become more and more relaxed as we go through that. And the more relaxed you become, the more you go along with it, the better experience that you're going to have, like I said. That's why other hypnotists are often the best subjects for these sorts of things. So you can find all this stuff in my new book, Living Well, A Guide to Cognitive Behavioral Skills Exercises. Please use this video to help yourself relax during holidays. Probably don't want to use it while you're driving. Don't want to become too relaxed. Don't operate heavy machinery, something like that, while you're doing it. It's not going to cause you to do anything untoward, but it may want to keep your wits about you and use this to help yourself when you can have a moment to sort of go into a deeper state of relaxation, a deeper state of calmness, and use this video for that purposes. So once again, holidays are coming up, so if you'd like to give the gift of health and wellness, consider our book, Living Well, A Guide to Cognitive Behavioral Skills Exercises, Dr. Ron Modern. You can find that on Amazon. You can also check out our website, www.moderninstitute.com. You can contact us through that if you like. And check us out. Like us on Facebook.com/Modern Institute. Once again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. This is Dr. Ron Modern with Modern Institute for Mind, Body, Wellness. And this has been your weekly Words of Wellness.